Well, hey guys, what's going on? It is Luke from the MIgardener channel with another recipe here in the garden. So it is very cold outside, it's winter time. The flu bug has been flying around and I wanted to make sure that I stayed healthy. Now that's not the only reason why I'm making this recipe. I find so many times that the fresh produce we get from the garden, we just don't know what to do with. And I really like to promote the healthiest lifestyle possible. We all can eat healthier, and I think there's a very common stigma about eating healthy that it's not fun. And I want to show you that eating healthy can in fact be fun. It is something that you can totally do that I've done with Cindy, and it's extremely fun, and that is a juice party. Now, it might seem lame, but I'm telling you what, it's a lot better than knocking back a couple beers because you'll feel better, you'll have a lot more fun doing it, and you can not only remember the social gathering, but you can in fact socialize quite a bit more. So we have our fresh grown greens. We have our hydroponically grown kale and mustard and arugula there. I even have 2 leaves of the watercress. You want to go easy on the watercress, just letting you know that now if you decide to use that. But you got 5 kale leaves, about 5 or 6 mustard greens, 5 or 6 leaves of the mustards. I have about 5 or 6 arugula leaves, and I have the 2 leaves of watercress. Those are going to be my greens. This is going to be a green juice. And then I also have about 1/4 of a pineapple. I have 2 of the basically like cutie clementines for kind of like a tartness, because you want that tart with that sweet. I also have 1 kumquat. That's going to add just another little kind of like a tartness. You don't need to add the kumquat. I really like how it kind of brings all the flavors together because it's really tart. It's really sour, kind of like a lemon, but it's not as sour as a lemon. And then I have 5 oranges. So you can mix and match whatever you want. I will say that for someone that does not like a green juice, I would not recommend this many greens. I personally have grown to really love the green juice. It's so high in vitamins, it's so high in minerals, it really gets your day off going well. Now another thing that I will say though, if you have a juice party, get a bunch of different things and then get little shot glasses, and instead of throwing back some vodka, take some shots of some juice, make some different juice shots and line up a party and have people doing that. It's really fun and you can mix and match different colors. I will say with the colors though, make sure you do stuff that are kind of similar, you know, greens and yellows kind of makes a light green, kind of like a lime green. You don't want to do stuff that oxidizes really quickly, otherwise drink it really quickly because you'll notice that it turns brown. So those are just some warning tips and tricks, but I'm going to get started now. We're going to cut this stuff up and I'll get back with you in a second. All right, so we're ready to go. I got all the fruit chopped up here, and I figured I would go through what type of juicer I'm using. This is no John Kohler's video, so he does some really great stuff. Definitely inspiring to see and watch, and really fun to see all the juicers that he uses. I took his advice on this one, and I got the Omega 8005. This is a horizontal auger juicer. It juices more of the leafy greens, but it can also do stuff like oranges pretty well. Soft stuff, not so well, like the pineapple and stuff. So you got to just follow it up with some fibrous things. It's a lot like your body. I feel like the horizontal auger juicers have a lot like the anatomy of a human. You know, you can't put in a whole lot of soft stuff, just like we can't eat a whole lot of cheese. It'll back you up like a cork. So you just got to follow up with some fibrous things and it'll push everything through just fine. So that's what we're going to do. I typically juice the oranges, then I'll juice the pineapple, then I'll juice the kale. The kale goes through really well. The oranges go through decently well with some of the white pithy part. And also, another thing I was going to mention, you want to add something that has seeds. These clementines have seeds, and this kumquat has some seeds. Reason being is because citrus seeds specifically have vitamin B17, which is actually a known cancer. It's a known cancer-fighting vitamin, and it's really important to have. And it's only found in citrus seeds. So it's It's one of those more rare vitamins, but it's something I suggest adding to your juice. You won't even know the difference. Just throw in the whole thing and don't take out the seeds. I look for those in there. So we're going to start juicing now, and let's see what we get from this. So I have all the pulps here. This is going to the compost pile, or the rinds here. This is going to the compost pile, and then the pulp here is going to go to the worms. So that's really good. I find that it's super awesome because everything is already mulched up, or like kind of shredded up. So it's small enough for the worms to already digest. So it's awesome that way. All right, let's turn this thing on and let's go. It pretty much is self-feeding. I find sometimes that the oranges need a little help going through because of the fact that they're a little wider. Sometimes they stick on the edges. But when it comes to like kale and stuff, it goes right through, no problem. It just juices so well. I love this juicer. This is my #1 juicer. I would say this is my favorite juicer, especially for someone that likes green juices. It just juices like a pro. I mean, I can do this entire plate of veggies and fruits and veggies in a matter of just a few minutes. So people that say, oh, I don't like to juice because it takes a long time, I look at this as like a meal. Like I'll have this entire juice for breakfast, and it has my plant-based proteins, it's got my vitamins, it's got my minerals, and it's really sustaining for a long time because of the fact, like we always talk about, your stomach has brain cells, and it knows if it's full of nutrients and if it's got enough calories and carbohydrates, and it'll tell you if it's full. So you don't need to eat a huge bacon and eggs sandwich. I'm going to follow this up with some pineapple here. The pineapple has the center rind in it. I feel like that helps pass through a little bit better. Put some of that in there. Not all of it, but about half of the pineapple that we have. I'm just going to throw a couple clementines in there. Put those in there. It's good to never stick your fingers through. They give you this little plunger for a reason, just because it can void your warranty if you stick anything else down there. There we go. All right, still looking pretty good. I'm gonna put some more pineapple in there, follow that up with a little kale, get some fibrous things, push everything through really well. The kale sometimes needs a little more force than I would generally like, but you always cut it up too, but to save time, I like to shove it through. All right, and we are finished. About 2 minutes later, did not take that long at all. And again, had I not been explaining things and feeding it in slowly for you all to see the different colors coming out, I could have just shoved them all in and been done in probably about 2 minutes. So not a long time at all for a meal. Really short, basically about the time it takes for a toaster to pop up, so about the same amount of time. And this is all the food scraps we're left with. This will all go to the worms, make some beautiful worm castings to go back into the garden, so we're being more sustainable because the food scraps are being food for the worms, which gives food for the plants. So nice little life cycle right there. We have our juice here. I always like to give it a little tip up front and a tip in the back, just because you do sometimes get those drips that gets caught at the lip there. It helps to minimize the mess. So I'm going to put that under there just in case to catch any more drips. And let's see what we got here for color. Well, first of all, you see a nice little beautiful green on top. And it's going to mix in nicely with the yellow. And you got yourself a pretty dark green juice. But again, that is the nature of a green juice. So let's pour this into a glass and try it. All right, got a glass, got the green juice, and let's check this out here. It's pretty green. Nice full glass for you. I got a little bit left in the jug there. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give this a try. I don't typically run mine through a sieve. You can if you want a smoother juice. I like some of the fibers that have passed through there. It's not a big deal at all. adds a little more sustenance to it, and I find it just sticks with me a little bit longer as well. You can definitely look at some research. I'm going to post some links to some juicing stuff because I just make them. I don't know all the science behind them. I'm going to post to my favorite guy on juicing, John Kohler, with Growing Your Greens, and with the Discount Juicers channel as well. I'll post those links for you in the description box below, and you can definitely check those out. But let's give this a try here. It is totally not green at all. Now, you get kind of the scent of the greens, but none of the flavor. That's what I love about adding the oranges and the pineapple. It really masks that flavor so you can get all the nutrients from the greens without all that grassy taste, you know, kind of like you're eating a meadow. None of that. It's just so pure. It's so fresh. I love this. This is awesome. It's good. It's a perfect green juice. It's something that will sustain me for at least a couple hours, and then I'll have a nice hearty lunch. And this is delicious. And one last thing I'll mention. I didn't throw in all the mustards because sometimes the mustard, I've learned from experience, the mustard can be really, really spicy. If you want some more spice, throw this in there. It'll be more like a savory drink, more like a V8 juice. But what I find in my experience is that there's just a certain fringe point you don't want to pass. If you're someone that likes a spicy green drink, go for it. I personally don't. I didn't like it at all. But what I will say is that it's so important to get those spicy greens in there. The watercress, the mustard greens, the arugula. Throw those in there, please. Because of the fact that those spicy greens have also been proven to be cancer preventing. They do have cancer preventing properties, and actually I believe the University of Yale did some tests on the cancer fighting properties of nasturtiums. Nasturtiums are in the exact same family as the watercress. And so you really want to add those spicy greens because it adds those micronutrients and the phytochemicals that are used to fight cancer cells. So you might not have cancer yet, but you don't want it to be too late by the time you do. So this little drink here, you're never even gonna taste them, and you can prevent all that garbage from happening on later on in life. So I will talk to you all later. I'm gonna enjoy my green juice here. I'll pour me a nice full glass again, and I will talk to you all later. There we go. So I'm gonna enjoy this. Hopefully you go try it as well. Definitely, if you do decide to make some juices, post on the Facebook channel, on the Facebook page, what your juices look like. Yeah, cheers. I'll talk to y'all later. Hopefully you are growing big or going home. I'll talk to y'all later. This is Luke from MIgardener. See ya. Bye.